And many of us who are here today, served in the legislature, grew up politically in the era of Jeb Bush, which was an era of politics where you learned that the purpose of public service was to make a difference. You were there not to be somebody, but to do something.
Republicans and conservatives need to take a hopeful, optimistic approach which says if you limit government's power, that you'll create more opportunities and more prosperity by us interacting amongst ourselves to create that type of dynamic interchange that will create the wealth and prosperity and hope that we desperately need. And I believe we're on the right track.
But we are at a crossroads, a real crossroads, not the crossroads they talk about every 2 years on election time. This one is real.
It's better to take back our country by restoring conservative principles and cutting government spending across the board so that we can restore the proper balance of government. And I'm convinced that with Marco Rubio and others in Congress, we'll do just that. And thank God, thank God, thank God.
One road is the road that Jeb Bush just described, and it is one that if we follow, will make our children and grandchildren the most prosperous and freest Americans in our history. The other road is the run of this administration and of Washington, and it is one that will turn our children into the first generation of Americans ever to inherit a diminished country from their parents, and turn us into the first Americans in our history to leave our children worse off than ourselves. And that's what this election is about.
My friends, there's only two things that will happen. Either conservatives will regain power in Washington to restore the proper balance of government in our lives, or the financial markets around the world will decide this for us. It is not sustainable to have 12% or 10% deficits as a percentage of our economy. It is not sustainable to have debt every year as far as the eye can see of $1.2 or $1.5 trillion.
This election is about choosing the right road, and there is only one movement in American politics that can lead us on the right road. And that is a strong and vibrant Republican Party that has rediscovered its purpose and its mission.
It's nice to see a young man who is passionate about these foundational beliefs. And Marco Rubio speaks better than anybody I've ever met about these things. He has fired up so many people to get involved, and I'm proud to know you, my friend. Go get them.
Because this race is not a battle between three people. This is not about any person. This race is about the country that you and I share and love. The single greatest society in all of human history. A place that is exceptional, unlike anything ever known to man.
I want to elect people, and I hope you do too, that aren't just against things, but are for changing the things that we have to change to be able to make sure that our children and our grandchildren have a fighting chance to be able to pursue their dreams as we had. And so support candidates that are conservative, but support the bold, courageous ones even more. When I got elected, I was told a story about Bob Graham, which was he was campaigning up in the Panhandle, and he was shaking hands with folks, and some guy, some good old boy from the Funiac Springs or something came up to me and goes, "Son, it'll be a cold day in hell before a guy a liberal from Miami gets elected governor of this state." So Bob Graham gets elected, and on his inauguration day, it snows. When I got elected from Miami, it was 8 degrees. So when Marco Rubio gets elected as the next United States Senator, and we're going up to Washington to celebrate it, it's probably going to be a cold day, but it'll be a great day for Florida, I promise you that.